Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, class. This is Professor Coyote, welcoming you back to our Let's Play on Europa Universalis IV. Now, as I mentioned last video, we're going to be starting a brand new one here. It's going to be focusing here on Ethiopia. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be fishing for two achievements. The first is going to be Prester John. That's where, as Ethiopia, you core Alexandria here, known as Caria right now, Jerusalem, which is Al-Quds, and Constantinople. So you need to own and core all three of those as Ethiopia. And then we're going to be going for a new achievement that came out with Rights of Man and called A Blessed Nation, which is, as a Coptic faith nation, you have 5 blessings going at the same time. Now, I talked about a little bit over this on the last video when I showed the Coptic faith thing, but basically it's you need to have 5 of the holy sites, and you get a blessing for each one of those. So we are going to be doing this on an Iron Man, so I'm going to be giving this a couple of recordings before I post. Probably not. Well, I might post this first one here, and then see how it goes. But as Iron Man, of course, I can't just go back and save it. It's... if I lose, then I lose, and we get to start this all over again. But, so let's just go right in. Alright. Go to Prester John. Here we go. Now, to give a little bit of historical context while this initializes, Ethiopia is actually have a very long history. The initial empire traces its roots back to the actual biblical time of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. And in fact, that's where they get their name from for their dynasty, the Solomonoid dynasty, that actually starts the empire around the 1170s and is very current as of this time in the 1440s. Now, the actual Solomonoid dynasty as the Ethiopian Empire will actually last all the way past World War II, up until about 1973, when they get deposed, and then Ethiopia goes communist for a while, and then transitions to the Ethiopia we know today. But we'll see how it goes, see if we can keep the Solomonids, in order to keep history going a little bit more. But in this case, Ethiopia is going to expand a lot further than their normal bounds of history, and that's just fine. So let's start this stuff off here before we go any time. Take the hints down. Alright, so first thing we need to look at is our rivals. We've got Yemen starting us off as a rival here. We've got Adal, which is perfectly fine. I'll just go into them anyway. And Kava. Now the last few times I've been trying Ethiopia, these are about the usual ones. Melodia tends to potentially sometimes, but I usually end up befriending them before I roll over them. So we'll start with our standard re-rivaling of Yemen, Adal, and Kaffa. And those 3 we'll focus on a bit. Let's see. Let's get here. The usual provincial unrest. Right, so the next thing we'll do here is we'll start getting something converted. It's going to take a long time until I start getting some of that missionary strength up, but at least it's something to do with our missionary for now, and get that religious unity back, because as you can see, it starts at 61% when you start off as Ethiopia. This has a problem of making the unrest going up, and a little bit of corruption, and going up on that stability will end up making things a bit of an issue. So that's why I always try to convert, even though it takes over 100 months each time. Alright, so brand new here with the Coptic faith, as you can see from this flag, is you get to pick one of these 5 blessings. You got a legitimacy bump, a manpower bump, a missionary strength bump, core creation bump, or a discipline bump. Now, what I'm going to be doing here, what we're going to be doing, is taking the discipline bump in order to make the going on with our military a little bit stronger. And as you can see here, these are the other 4 sites that it wants you to take. Iskandria, done by the Mamluks, which is right there, actually near Alexandria. Got Antioch, right now known as Antica, up there. near Aleppo. Qasr Ibrahim, which is actually going to be the easiest one, because that's held by Mercuria, and probably going to end up taken either by me or Lothian later. And then Yerevan up there right with the QQ. See here in northern Iraq. That's why the have all 5 blessings going at once is listed as a very hard achievement, because, oh sure, the first 4 are fine. You got to crack through the Mamluks and Mercuria, but then you got to go all the way up into QQ. But then again, since I'm going with the Pressure John achievement, going into that area may not be too hard anyway. So, we've got that blessing picked, and then we'll take our mission. Conquer Wallada. That's interesting. Because Conquer Wallada, generally, it doesn't pop up for right now. I usually end up going here and taking out Merdri Bari first, but it looks like the missions are having us go after Kaffa. So I'll probably take that and still go after Merdri Bari anyway, in order to get just that one coast one. But that's interesting that was given up as a first mission already. Alright. So our force limit starts at 15, so let's do a little bit of getting some spearmen going, and a cav. Just one cav, though. We're already at 4 with that cavalry, so that's going to balance that stack out. Alright. We're just looking over here. Now, the good part about Rights of Man, as I was saying, was that Ethiopia and all other the non-European nations don't start off with that initial hit to your tech. So you might actually see Ethiopian tech going a lot quicker than previously. Probably focusing on a lot of the tech and some good ideas. So we'll just go on from there, and we'll take up to about probably time 3. Oh, for our first event came up. The Holy Heart of Ethiopia. Once Axum was the heart of the ancient Aksumite Empire, a bastion of Christian power, situated at the crossroads of Africa, Arabia, and the Greco-Roman world. Among the obelisks and palace ruins, we have rebuilt the churches of this mighty nation of old. Now, the Aksumite Empire was actually as it says here, the start of the Ethiopian Empire. The Aksumite Empire started around 8th century BCE, going right up, and that's when the Ethiopian Empire took over around the 12th century. The greatest of them all is the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. It is the place where we crown our emperors, the descendants of Melanic I, who was the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. It is here he brought back the Ark of the Covenant. Each year, thousands of pilgrims come from the farthest reaches of our empire and beyond to visit this holy place. Now, I may not be reading off too many of these events. We'll see what it goes. But this is how we start off. We get 10 prestige, bing, and we go from there. So let's keep going here. We got, alright. And in order to make a little bit of money, we're going to mothball our forts, because going after Merdri Bari is not going to cause too much havoc. Alright, so let's go in there. And then I'm going to have the army there park while we wait for the other guys to come up. So the itinerant capital, in order to control the diverse Ethiopian Empire, the Solomonids have never established a permanent capital. Instead, the royal court travels from chief to chief every few months. While it is hard to establish an administrative continuity under such circumstances, the traveling court does have its benefits. The frequent visits of the royal courts in all corners of the empire are contributing to the growth of a common elite culture in our lands. So this is always happening. So yes, I believe that going straight for the stability bump is always the benefit thing. Now, I've noticed that a lot of Let's Players in this kind of keep their stability around 1-ish. That way they can keep those admin points to where they go. I always try to run really quickly to higher stability, just because it gives you some of those bonuses, like better strength to your missionaries and the like. I can't boost it right now anyway, but it's always good to have that. I always feel it's good to have as high a stability as possible, just to give you that slight benefit. In fact, I believe this will end up making... Yeah, it already has a benefit with the missionary there. And this one's going to knock it down to 1451. Alright, so let's go back to time here. I'm doing it 3 just because a lot of these early events pop up, and I want to make sure that we all be able to see it. I know that you tend to run at time 5, but that's almost a little too quick for me. Alright, so looks like these guys are coming up. We've got infantry coming up now. We're just waiting on that last cab to finish up. Looks like that's going to be 14th of February. Not quite St. Valentine's Day. Oh, yeah, it is St. Valentine's Day. 1300s? Don't know if that's quite established yet. Alright, so we got our guys going. Let's link them all together. And let's get a general going. Let's see. Alright, so we got a good general to start with. We've got a 1 shock pip. I'm sorry, 1 fire pip and a 4 shock. That's actually really great going in here. So what we're going to do here is, I know Medribari likes us, but we like them and that tasty coastal thing a lot better. I totally forgot to establish my merchants here. Alright, got royal marriage going. And go to there. We're going to hit the Gulf of Aden trade there, and the Alexandria trade, because I totally forgot to set those up to begin with, and also get some of my alliances going here. So we're going to, we'll set those up in a little bit. Let's just go right straight into that war with Medribari here. See if we can get that taken. Looks like nobody will join us anyway, which is fine. Oops. I know what I forgot to do. Sorry about that for this first step. I forgot to fabricate a claim, which is why it's so frustrating that first event went on. So, you know what? Let's not take them on, and we'll go down, since Coffee has that, Kappa. And we'll take out that. Oh, they're allied with Alodia. Stop that here. Break that too. For right now, I fabricate that claim. Alright, build a spy network here. So it looks like things are going to go a little bit slower than they usually do because of that event, or lack thereof. That mission, I mean. But that's fine. So we'll keep going on there, and we'll start looking to see what we can do with some of these other guys. Improve the relation there. And we'll improve there. Now, we're going to go into the Horn of Africa later, but at least for right now, they can serve as a good buffer against Adele there. Alright. Let's see how... So... Excuse me. Now it's just the waiting game while we wait to be able to get enough to get that fabrication going in Medribari. So yeah, unfortunately, that's the game of the game. Sometimes it's a little bit slow while you're waiting for things to get going. But at least we're getting things started here in our first Let's Play. So the centralization reforms of Zara Yaqub. Zara Yaqub, of course, the leader we're playing right now. Under the care of the Solomonic dynasty, Ethiopia has grown from a kingdom into a great empire. However, the diverse regions under our rule lack a common language, religion, or administrative system. Zara Yaqub, the most able ruler Ethiopia has seen in a long time, has prepared a number of reforms that might go a long way towards creating a more unified state. Alright, so we got the options here of taking down some autonomy change for a little bit of unrest, or gain a stability. Gain that stability. And a little bit of... we don't have too much, actually, in some sort of rebels. Right now, it's just mostly the religious rebels here due to the conversion we're doing. So, I don't really want to test that national unity so much right now. Well, while we're waiting here, might as well take down army maintenance. we gotta wait on that spy network anyway. That way we don't end up going broke. Alright, so let's see how it goes. Right now it looks like it's kind of a quiet start for the Ethiopians here. Let's take that up to 5 so we can get that going. Alright. Well, at least for now, we can at least start planning out what sort of ideas we're going for. There we are. Looks like Kappa's trying to do the reverse on us, and the same thing with the doll, so we might actually have to end up doing some defensive war there. And we'll wait on that. Alright, let's see what we got here. Who declared war on who? Okay, looks like Lodier is going to go try and kill off Makuria. That's normal. It's a little bit early for them, but let's see. I can make that last boost, but probably want to save the admin power. Alright, let's look at that spy network really quickly. Alright, can't quite fabricate yet. You need 20 on that, but it should be boosting pretty quickly. Okay, as we watch a little war going on there. I'm surprised they didn't actually call me into it. Maybe they knew I was going to end up fighting. Oh, alright, there we are. There is the fabrication we needed. Badoom. We're going to go on the Sawab. Alright, now get that together, and we'll just slow down here so we can get things ready. Now that we got that fabrication made, we can actually make the war on them. So we'll pull them together and then say, sorry, Medribari, I know you like us, but I like those better. Those tasty coastal provinces a little bit better. Alright, so. Even though... Oh, I need to get that army maintenance back up. Alright. Well, it looks like the moment I went to war, it actually upped the army maintenance anyway. So, let's see how that war goes. And it should go, even with... There we go. Alright, so that's stack wiped him. So we can actually split that out there. And just send some there. Glorious will Ethiopia be. Alright, so we've got another claim on Kappa and a 10 prestige bump, which is always fun. That, and we'll just carpet siege Mendribari here. Take out one of his guys. Okay. Now I know it's been, especially with them wanting to be nice to us. I could have vassalized them, I could have tried to take them otherwise, but I really wanted to get that land to begin with because it helps me build up a little bit of sea trade and as a buffer to the Mamluks. So, we just need to wait for this. In fact, we'll just help there, help that siege go quicker. There. We'll just wait on that, and then probably turn our sights down to Kappa. After all, especially now that Alodia is busy doing things in Makuria. But we just need to wait for that siege to go quick. In fact, up that to speed that time up. Now it's mostly all over but the screaming now, as they say. Oh. Alright, Helen, Ethiopia. Looks like we have our first consort. That'll give us 25 admin power. And actually pretty decent numbers on that consort. Alright, plus it looks like we get a new house coming in. With the Hadia family, which gets us a lot of local unrest, although it kind of eats our most local missionary strength pretty bad. I think it's just the one late nation. So, all right. So now we're getting some of those happy estates issues that always crop up. So either I can flip the clergy to get money, or I can get prestige. Let's see. Let's look at our loyalty with them to see what that would end up doing. That would probably knock it down to 35 loyalty, which would hurt our national tax modifier. Alright, so I'm actually going to probably go with the prestige for right now, just so I don't have to deal with the headache of that. So we get the stability cost modifier, stability cost down 7%, and we up our tax modifier, so that might actually balance it out. And we'll see where we go from there. Alright, just wait for that sieging to go down. And meanwhile, you see here, we've now got the consort, which has benevolent. In fact, let's look at our rulers here. So, Tsar Jakob here has a 655. He's got Zealot, which bumps the missionary strength up, and Righteous, which umps the legitimacy, although right now he's at full legitimacy, so that won't do anything. His heir has legitimacy, so that's good, even though it's a 1-2-1. Probably end up... I don't know how good he's going to be as a king, but we'll see. The Queen Consort has a 4-4-3. Now, of course, this will come... her stats only come into play if we were in a regency, but her benefits, like, say, Liberty, Desire, and Subjects here, will still take place. Alright. So we're coming down here on the siege. It's going to be a bit of a longish war. Looks like. Okay, so Copper's doing that. And one of the benefits to doing a run like a country like here in Ethiopia is you don't get that 18 billion thing spam. Like, for instance, all you see here is just an accepted peace, whereas you'd have a complete spam of events, even 1447, from the European powers. You don't start getting those until you actually realize that Europe exists again. Alright, so got our siege here. Looks like we're finished with them. I'll look at them after we get that. Alright, and let's see what we can get out of them. I don't know if it'll give us how much... Alright, so we can take them all. In fact, take all their cash. Alright, so the next 90 won't be getting that much of... a little bit of aggressive expansion and a little bit of overextension. But that's fine. We'll take them completely out. Knock that down in time. Alright. I need to get rid of those tooltips. Let's turn off the tooltips. Alright, so we took them out. So Masawa is completely ours now. Now we have some extra trade power here towards Alexandria, which might actually kick that up a little bit. No, we wanted to collect in Alexandria. Once it lets us collect in Alexandria. Not sure how that ended up collecting in Ethiopia, because that's kind of pointless to collect in your own major trade node. But, oh, okay. So I guess because they haven't been cored yet, we can't go into Alexandria yet. Alright, so what we're going to do here is now that we have our first war, we already expanded a little bit of Ethiopia here, I'm actually going to pause the game right here, and we'll come back to this, and then, so in our next next video, we're going to see how Massive Melodia is going to view us in the future. We're going to talk to some more of these Horn of Africa countries, and then we'll probably end up eating Kaffa. So until then, I hope you have a very excellent rest of your day, and with that, class dismissed.